Loneliness used to mean one thing, being alone. But today, that definition feels outdated. Because now, people can spend all day connected to others and still feel emotionally empty. You can have notifications, messages, followers, group chats, constant content, and somehow still feel disconnected, still feel unseen, still feel alone. And that creates a strange contradiction. How did humanity become more connected than ever, while so many people feel emotionally isolated? Because the truth is, loneliness today is not just physical, it's psychological, emotional, digital, existential. And if you don't understand what changed, you may keep trying to cure modern loneliness, with the very things making it worse. Fact number 1. Constant connection is not the same as real connection. This is the first illusion. Your brain does not measure connection by quantity, it measures it by emotional depth. You can talk to hundreds of people online and still feel alone, because being surrounded by interaction is not the same as feeling understood. Modern life gives endless communication, but not always intimacy. And intimacy is what the nervous system actually craves. Not attention, not stimulation, connection. Fact number 2. Social media creates the feeling of proximity without presence. This changes the brain more than people realize. You constantly see people's lives, their thoughts, their photos, their updates, their emotions. So psychologically, it feels like you're socially involved, but you're often observing, not participating. Watching connection is not the same as experiencing connection. And over time, passive social consumption can create emotional emptiness because the brain feels close, while the body remains alone. Fact number 3. Modern loneliness is often invisible. This is why so many people struggle silently. Old loneliness looked obvious: isolation, silence, physical separation. Modern loneliness can exist in crowds, at work, at parties, in relationships, online. You can laugh with people and still feel emotionally disconnected from everyone around you. That's what makes modern loneliness so confusing, because externally, life may look socially full, while internally, it feels emotionally empty. Fact number 4. People reveal more online, but less in real life. This creates emotional imbalance. Online, people overshare thoughts, trauma, emotions, opinions. But face-to-face, many struggle with vulnerability, eye contact, silence, presence, authentic emotional openness. So the world became more expressive digitally, while many became less emotionally available physically, and real connection requires presence, not just expression. Fact number 5. Entertainment replaced community. Humans evolved in tribes. Shared meals, shared routines, shared struggles, shared time. Modern life replaced much of that with consumption, streaming, scrolling, gaming, endless content. And while entertainment stimulates the brain, it does not fully replace belonging. Because humans don't just need distraction, they need emotional anchoring. Fact number 6. Hyper-independence can secretly increase loneliness. Modern culture often glorifies, "I don't need anyone." But emotional isolation is not strength. Humans are relational creatures, and many people became so focused on self-protection. They stopped allowing emotional closeness entirely. No vulnerability, no dependence, no openness. And eventually, self-protection becomes emotional distance, which slowly becomes loneliness. Fact number 7. People are more socially anxious than before. This is huge. Many people spend more time interacting digitally than physically, and the nervous system adapts. Texting feels safer, posting feels safer, watching feels safer. Meanwhile, real-world social interaction begins feeling heavier, more uncomfortable, more unpredictable, so people crave connection, while simultaneously avoiding the discomfort required to build it. And that creates a painful cycle. Fact number 8. Comparison destroys emotional connection. Social media doesn't just affect self-esteem, it affects belonging. Because constant comparison creates emotional separation. You stop feeling connected to others and start measuring yourself against them, their success, their beauty, their relationships, their lifestyle. And comparison shifts the brain from connect with people to compete with people, which quietly increases loneliness. Fact number 9. Many people no longer feel emotionally safe being authentic. This is deeper than technology. People fear judgment, cancellation, rejection, misunderstanding. So many individuals become emotionally filtered, carefully edited, carefully managed, but filtered connection rarely feels deeply fulfilling because people don't feel fully loved when they don't feel fully known, and authenticity is what creates emotional closeness. Fact number 10, the brain can confuse stimulation for fulfillment. This is one of the biggest modern traps. Your brain receives constant stimulation now, videos, music, notifications, content, entertainment, so you rarely sit in silence long enough to fully feel loneliness. But distraction is not healing, and stimulation is not fulfillment, which means a person can feel constantly occupied while remaining emotionally starved underneath. Here's the deeper truth. Loneliness today feels different because modern life changed what isolation looks like. You no longer need physical separation to feel alone. Now, you can feel disconnected in the middle of constant stimulation, constant noise, constant interaction. And that's why so many people feel confused, because they think, if I'm around people, why do I still feel empty? But loneliness is not always about proximity. It's about emotional resonance, being seen, being understood, being emotionally safe enough to exist honestly, and many people today rarely experience that deeply, not because they're broken, but because modern environments often prioritize performance over presence, consumption over connection, attention over intimacy. So if loneliness feels different today, it's because it is. You are living in a world full of visibility, but starving for depth, full of communication, but lacking emotional closeness, full of stimulation, but low on genuine connection. And maybe healing begins here, not by chasing more attention, not by endlessly distracting yourself, but by rebuilding the things human beings always needed: presence, honesty, community, vulnerability, real conversation, real connection. Because in the end, the opposite of loneliness is not simply being around people, it's feeling emotionally connected.